Call this meeting to order for York School District 1 Board of Trustees, executive session. Is there a motion for executive session for certified personnel and student matter?
I so move.
Have a motion by Ms. Johnson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Ms. Howell. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. We'll now go into executive session. Session. We'll now come out of executive session. We have a motion to come out of executive session. Have a motion by Mr. Revels. Have a second by Ms. Johnson. All those in favor of coming out of executive session say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Let the record reflect that there was no action taken during executive session. Do I have a motion to adjourn executive session?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Johnson. Second? Second by Mr. Revels. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. So we got a few minutes. Sorry I had to do that, had to end that, but y'all can continue talking, and then we'll start back at 6:30. I'd like to call this meeting to order for the general session of York School District 1 Board of Trustees. For the invocation, we'd have Reverend Tim Morgan, Associate Pastor, Liberty Church, York. Please come forward.
Let's pray together. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be here. We thank you for, Lord, everyone that's gathered together in this space and the things that they represent, from the students to the administrators and teachers. Lord, all of us together as people growing and maturing, developing into your image. Thank you for granting us life and giving us the opportunity to grow and mature, to learn, to increase in knowledge and wisdom and in favor with God and man. Lord, I pray that you would extend favor in this gathering. Give all of those who lead wisdom and clarity. Thank you for our leadership. Thank you for the state and the local leaders, Lord, who mentor and teach and instruct. God, I pray that throughout the remainder of this year and, Lord, in the years to come, that you would continue to give us a wonderful opportunity for advancement and learning. God, just bless this evening, and may it all be to your glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance from Aiden Clark, YCHS student. Please come forward. Will you please stand? Thank you. Let the record reflect, we do have a quorum with all members present. We do have confirmation of notice to media. Are there any members of the media present this evening? See no members of the media. We did not have anyone here tonight to speak in the public forum session, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion for approval of the consent agenda?
I so
Have a motion by Ms. Howell.
second.
Have a second by Ms. Johnson. Any discussion on consent agenda? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We'll now move to recognitions. We have John Tharp, York Comprehensive High School Principal. Mr. Tharp. Have the school spotlight by Mr. Tharp. Sorry.
Thank you, Chairman Childers, Superintendent Cox, and the board, and thank you all of the guests here tonight. And I have Assistant Principal Marilyn Milton with me tonight. And board members, we would like to give you a taste of a daily experience at York Comprehensive High School. We have a wonderful school. It is filled with amazing students and staff. And we are lucky to get up every day and have the privilege of going to work there. So I can't say anything more about that because it is tremendous. But we want to continue to progress as a learning center. And so one of our big focus this year has been on collaboration, working together. Oftentimes in a school building, as students and staff are in classrooms, people can get isolated from one another. So we've really worked hard and had tough conversations with staff about how to get adults working together and also to train students to work together, because as we all know in our work experience, it's great to have technical skills and the knowledge base, but you really have to have those soft skills too of working together, especially collaboration. And so as you see on the board, this is part of the school district's strategic agenda goal number 3. And under the student-centered learning domain, it is collaborative practices. So we're well aligned with what the Board of Education wants to see us doing. And so we're going to watch about a 4-minute video here. And in this video, you'll see 3 things highlighted. You'll see teachers talking and demonstrating collaborative practice. Also, you'll see them using some tools, which you have graciously furnished for us, Canvas, Mastery Connect, and some benchmark assessments. So they're creating common tests. And then finally, you'll see students talking and working collaboratively. So with that, we'll play the video.
I'm John Clark, principal at York Comprehensive High School. We have focused on the word collaboration this year, and what that means is we want the adults working together to best benefit all of our students, and we want our students to learn to work together with one another and with the adults. Our ultimate goal is to ensure that all of our students are college and career ready.
We have been working really hard with the biology department to be sure that they have the opportunity to collaborate, as well as the Algebra 1 teachers. And I think that they have really bought into that idea that this is the perfect time as well as the perfect opportunity to collaborate with the goal of improving student performance here.
The work of collaboration amongst our department here is a continual daily process. We have collaboration meetings on Wednesdays, Wednesday mornings, Wednesday afternoons, but it carries on throughout the week in the halls. We plan activities and lessons, and we collaborate as a department. You have to be strategic, what works and what doesn't work, so it's an adaptability like anything in teaching every single day.
Our groups are usually formed by the teacher. He or she would put us in a group, and we all know each other's skills, what we're good at, what we're not good at. We all work together and work with those skills. As a group, you could do more work, and you could easily obtain more ideas that you have not thought about, which are very essential.
I think often our teachers do try to stick us with like-minded people. Even as someone who has social anxiety and issues with that, it's not too stressful because we've become like a family.
So now it's more, we want them working and them figuring things out and me as a resource. So I think that's where the classroom has shifted. I can see over the last 30 years, it's gone from teacher-led to student-led. This is your education. You are benefiting from this. I need you to be responsible for your education.
I think that you will see true, what we call professional learning communities in the near future, where our collaborative practices are seamless, meaning the teachers naturally plan, create common tests, and work together all the time. And then you'll also see students naturally working in small groups in all the classrooms.
So I think this year with the collaboration meetings that we're having, trying to come up with common assessments, using the Mastery Connect to come up with those common assessments, we're going to have a lot to offer new teachers. Now it's going to be here. This is what all of us do in Algebra 1. Here you go.
We've adopted new programs and testing through Mastery Connect, and we've employed it across our department in regards to engaging the kids in different, more challenging rigor. At the same time, in the way my classroom is set up, we have collaboration in groups. Really creates a unique environment. Everybody feels as though they have to contribute in some way.
The environment, you could easily communicate with other students, which is important. And then you could ask questions to other students if you don't understand something, which is also important. And as a group, y'all can all communicate together to understand the subject.
You get to hear and look at other people while they speak to you, and it's not just they're sitting behind you and you hear these people speaking, but you actually get to see them and interact with them.
I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the things that we're doing at our school. One of the things, if you noticed from our spotlight, is that all of our teachers that were spotlighted, and I would say the teachers throughout the building as well as the students, they have really bought into this idea of the collaborative learning, in which they have the opportunity to speak and discuss and think and more depth about the concepts that they're learning. So we're continuing with this process. We're really excited. We have had some information from our benchmarks, and believe it or not, they were excited today for us to give them that information. And they're going to have conversations about that, and they're always willing to share, and we're always willing to support them in what they do.
Anybody have any questions or comments or thought? Ms. Milton, since she's up here too.
I'll share a quick comment from a hiring perspective. You know, we talk about career and college readiness, right? Kids coming out ready for the workforce, or going to college, coming out of college ready for the workforce. When we hire, I've got a team, some of the best engineers in the world, but the ones who accelerate their careers are the ones who have that soft skill. So being able to collaborate, that's such a hot button for me. And you said that, I wrote it down, because the ones who can come out and have enough enterprise perspective to know they've got to work across cross-functional teams, and it doesn't matter how good of a designer you are, at the end of the day, you've got to work with a lot of different departments to fail-safe those designs. So being able to communicate is so important. So I love the focus that you're doing there. It's great.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you both. And Ms. Milton, I think it's the first time I've seen you back, so
Yes.
welcome back.
Excited to be here.
We'll now move to student and staff recognitions. Ms. Lisa Spangler, Coordinator of Special Projects, and Ms. Betty Johnson will be assisting with the recognitions tonight.
Good evening, board members, and thank you all for being here this evening. We have quite a few people to recognize, and it's very exciting to do so. Would first like to call up Dr. Lee Green, who's the director of the Floyd D. Johnson Technology Center. And then teachers that are part of the advisors for the South Carolina DECA Association Career Development, Gail Harrington, Mitchell Galloway, and Rhonda Platt. The South Carolina DECA Association Career Development Conference was held February 15th through 17th in North Charleston. FDJTC DECA members competed against other students from around the state and attended Leadership Academy. The competition was intense, but our amazing students powered through and brought home many awards. Please congratulate the following. For his financial literacy project, first place, Aiden Clark and Josh Uribe Perez. Next, for career development project, first place, Riley Davis, Chloe Good, and Emma Louise Leake. For second place in the Community Awareness Project, Connor McDaniel, Allie Miller, and Annabelle Walker. For third place in the state in the Community Giving Project, Bailey Akers, Ella Dover, and Claire Gilfillan. For fourth place for the Community Awareness Project, Claire Dye and Lauren Henry. For fourth place in independent business plan, Neely Carroll and Caroline Clark. For fourth place in innovation plan, Anna Mitchell and Dominic Rogers Serrano. For fifth place in employment acquisition, Grayson Brown. For top 10 in buying and merchandising team decision-making, Ivy Traylor and Gavin Turner. For top 10 in personal financial literacy, Daisy Freeman. For top 10 in public speaking, Jimmy Uribe Perez. For top 10 in accounting application series, Luis Diego Manzo. For top 10 in public speaking, Araya Haynes. And for top 10 in startup business plan, Gracie Mull. Now, I'll finish by saying that 8 of these students, the ones who finished first and second place in the state, qualified to attend and compete in the DECA International Career Development Conference in Anaheim, California. So we'll bid adieu to them as they go on that trip. Let's give a round of applause to all these students.
You know they've done this before.
Next, I'd like to invite up Ms. Catherine Greenway and Mr. Josh Williams, who are advisors for FFA at Floyd D. Johnson Technology Center. I thought I saw Mr. Williams here.
He just can't get up here.
He's traveling, okay. He got free. Tonight, we'd like to congratulate Cameron Williams, if he'll come forward. Floyd D. Johnson's very own. Floyd D. Johnson's very own FFA president, Vice President Cameron Williams won the title of South Carolina Mr. FFA for 2024. Cameron competed in the annual Mr. FFA scholarship competition at Pendleton High School that consisted of a written application, an in-person interview, and an on-stage question for the top 10 about FFA and/or agricultural industry, all of which he excelled at and placed first out of 60 participants. Not only does he get to carry the title, but he also received a $1,000 scholarship to use in his studies at Clemson University next year. Congratulations. You done? Yeah. Oh, we can do, look, we'll do next while you're here. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, we'd also like to invite forward, please, Maggie McMahon, who's the Development and Marketing Director with Boy Scouts of America. And if you want to bring any of the others forward you have with you, come in.
May
While they're sitting, I'd like to invite Dr. John Tharp to join, principal at York Comprehensive High School, and Miss Lizzie Elliott, who's the chorus director. Congratulations to the YCHS Concert Choir who traveled to Columbia for their state assessment, in which they performed 2 prepared pieces and then read a piece that they'd never seen before. When the assessment was complete, they received a rating of superior with distinction. This means that they received the highest possible rating from each judge, getting a score of 20 out of 20, which is remarkable. We have a big group of students. I'll ask that we hold our applause to the end. How about that? Aubrey Stewart, Camila Flores Espinoza, Ricardo Govia Mendoza, Bree Leary, Micah Mobley, J.D. Waxman, Savannah Honeycutt, Cameron Neal, Audrey Buran, Kaylee Fowler, Silas Schumacher, Ava Brandon, Tia Bratton, Megan Brewer, Jakila Burris, Lily Cowart, Zanijah Honey, Mallory Horn, Callie Lawton, Mackenzie McClinton, Harper Wade, Warren Carnes, Savannah McCoy, Zakiah Robinson, Ian Rorter, Sophie Tumberland, Charlie White, Luis Barales, Nadine Capita, Kinsley Fondale, Lindsay Heath, Kylie Hudgens, Bethany Kimball, Molly Lindell, Angie Lopez Hernandez, Kylie Vaught, Ariana Briault, I apologize. Audrey Bronson, Gracie Henson, DJ Johnson, Emily Theobar, and Harmony Strickland. Now Let's congratulate this group of people. Congratulations. I'd like to call.
For those that don't know, this is Miss Elliott's first year with us.
I just can't believe nobody missed a note. It was crazy. Dr. LaToya Dixon, if you'll come forward, please. She's Assistant Superintendent. And I'd also like to ask April Ulmer and Jessica Kuhn to join Ms. Dixon. The Institute for District Administrators, designed by the South Carolina Department of Education, supports district leaders with the knowledge, skills, and characteristics needed to serve and lead highly effective district teams. 3 office priorities include personalization, collective leadership, and equity and access to effective instruction, and they're integrated throughout the curriculum. IDA consists of 4 two-day sessions with 8 total sessions over the course of 7 months. The experiences include strategies like small and large group discussion, teamwork, Socratic seminars, simulations, scenarios, self-reflection, 360-degree feedback, problem solving, inquiry cycles, case studies, study teams, and networking. Participants must attend all class sessions, complete pre-service work, and complete all homework assignments to receive the 80 renewal credits. Congratulations to April Ulmer and Jessica Kuhn on their completion of the Institute for District Administrators.
Good evening. We have our multiplier award winners for this month. And just a reminder that the multiplier award is the people who are multiplying their impact within our school district. And our winners for April are Kim Jones, Norma Jean Collier, and Juliet Paris. And they're a group, so if they'll come up together with Miss Rebecca Dover, you want to come up too? Ms. Rebecca Dover, principal of Hickory Grove Sharon Elementary, stated the following: "This group embodies the essence of a multiplier with their exceptional dedication and commitment. They not only serve, but also guide, lead, care for, and consistently surpass expectations in all that they do. This group's tireless efforts and unwavering support have been instrumental in the growth and achievement of our students this year. Our staff and students are truly appreciative of their dedication and hard work, and we are profoundly grateful for all that this group has contributed to our school community. Thank you for all being invaluable assets to us all. Congratulations."
That's the only ones we got?
Sorry that it was such a short
I know, right? That's great.
list.
Looks like most everybody left for those, but we do appreciate it as always to our district and what the students and staff do, so. I guess you can just continue now with the reports for the grants update.
Since I wouldn't move, right? Good evening, board members and Superintendent Cox and members of the audience. Thank you for the opportunity to give you an update on grants in our district. I really can't stress enough that while I'm the one that hits the send button on grants when it's time to submit, I don't do anything in isolation, and I'm very, very grateful for many of the people in this room who work as parts of teams every time we get together and try to submit a grant and come up with a plan that gets awarded. And so thank you all for being who you are and being such great team players. I brought up the board priorities because this year more than any, I think that you'll see a fit with the grants that we've received and the board priorities. When you look at safety measures, you'll hear me talk about walk-through metal detectors, impact-resistant films, badge scan, door access. When you look at social, emotional, academic, and physical needs of our students, I'll talk about mental health therapists and support for our homeless students. Professional growth, you'll hear us talk about curriculum development and using funds for conference attendance. Variety of opportunities for students, you'll hear us talk about after-school programming, summer programming, intercession opportunities. And then community partnerships, you'll hear me mention All on Board and Keystone, Atrium, the museum, FCA, and Scouts. And so that's been our focus, and I think we've done a really good job as a district team in trying to keep those at the forefront of the grants that we submit. This year's competitive grants, and competitive grants are just what they say. We compete with other entities who are also applying for the funds. Our applications are scored, and those with the highest scores win. And when we win funding for our district, and we're excited about that. We have this year we've won 2 National School Lunch Program Assistance Grants. One has been at Hickory Grove Sharon that's provided for a combi oven, the stand that it sits on, as well as a water filtration system. The second one is actually based out of the middle school but serves the whole district, and that's a refrigerated trailer. That trailer can be used anytime there's an outage, a power outage, to preserve the food so that it doesn't spoil, and it will also support our summer feeding program significantly this year. Our energy grant this year supported Cotton Belt, Jefferson, the Intermediate School, and Harold C. Johnson, and it changed over fluorescent lighting to LED lighting in the large areas, the media centers, the music rooms, the art rooms at those schools. This year we received an EEDA grant, and that one goes to Hickory Grove Sharon Elementary School. They previously shared a mental health therapist, and now they have their own. And it also will provide some summer programming for some students who need extra support. Our United Way grant, this is our 4th year of receiving that grant. This year, we are working with adult learners to earn a manufacturing certificate. We're in year 2 of our second COPS program, or COPS grant program, and that provides for pass-through metal detectors and also gives our SROs the opportunity to attend conferences. This year, we received a Stronger Connections grant. That is a new one from the state. That provided 2 additional mental health therapists, and so now we're proud to say that each one of our schools has its own mental health therapist. We were sharing previously, and we're very excited to have that happen this year. We have a safety grant, and that will provide for additional badge scan door access, as well as impact-resistant film on some of our glass doors and glass gathering areas like cafeterias. Our Sisters of Mercy grant supports our parenting partnerships program, and in particular the Parents as Teachers program. And then our summer reading camp community partnership enables our students who are in summer reading camp in the morning working on reading to do fun activities in the afternoon through partnerships with the museum and the Boy Scouts and other groups like FCA. And then while we don't receive the funds, we do write the 21st Century grants that do provide for our after-school programs at each of our elementary and York Intermediate School. So those are our competitive grants. And next I'll talk to you about our formula grants. And our formula grants it's just what that says as well. It's based on a formula, and that formula normally takes into account 2 things. It takes into account our enrollment and also our poverty. Our largest grant, obviously, is our Title I grant. I always like to take this opportunity to say that each one of our schools is Title I eligible. We designate the top 3 highest poverty elementary schools, and this year that's Harold C. Johnson, Jefferson, and Hickory Grove Sharon. We use the majority of those funds for class size reduction. We also use funds to support our parenting programs, We fund our interpreter through that grant as well. And we do some curriculum materials, some professional development, and other activities. Our Title II funds can be used for class size reduction, so we use those at our other 2 elementary schools, but we also use that to support our recruitment efforts as well as pay our mentor teacher stipends. Title III is the smallest pot, but also the most stringent. Those can be used for ML student support, but it's very limited on what it can provide. And so we use that for professional development for our ML teachers, for an ML family night, as well as a summer ML camp. And ML is multilingual learners. It used to be ESOL, and then it was EL, but now it's ML, so just for clarification purposes. Title IV is the most eclectic of the title programs. It can support innovative programming, and so we use that portion to support our Connected as Readers program and also our early childhood bus. And then a portion has to be used for technology professional development, and so we use a portion to fund a portion of one of our technology coaches. And then the safety emphasis goes to support All on Board, which does a lot of prevention activities in our district, Keystone, which provides a full-time substance abuse counselor at a high school that also does prevention programming for sixth graders, and also our Atrium athletic trainer sponsorship. So we work with Atrium for an additional athletic trainer, and we pay a portion of that salary. ATSI funds this year have been used for curriculum development and mapping, which Ms. Cox and Ms. Ulmer have talked to you about, as well as 3 software programs. This year new, we have ARP homeless funds. These are used to support our McKinney-Vento students with short-term housing, clothing, household supplies, food, anything that they would need to be successful in school. And then ESSER 3, I put that on there for you, Ms. Johnson, because I know you're very concerned, as are we, that we use all those funds to support any recovery effort from COVID. And so we're using those to support salaries, technology, software, and you can see the list goes on and on. We have solid plans to spend all the funds. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. And not just for ESSA, but this is an extensive list. A lot of money comes in through grants, and for you and the committee, we appreciate all the work that you're doing to bring in this money. And please do not leave 1 penny in ESSA. As of September, the end of September, I know the date too. I want to see everything clean.
We do too, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you very much. Very proud of all of you.
I like to say I know a little bit about a lot, and that's because the people in this room teach me a little bit about a lot.
Ms. Thamer, I'd like to say, there was discussion in this district once upon a time, could we afford a grant writer? A lot of discussion. You certainly have proved that we can afford a grant writer. You always compliment your team. We have earned endless grants in this district. I heard Clover just the other week acknowledge you for your ability to write grants. We greatly appreciate it, and we would not be where we are in this district without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. I'm very humbled. But it really is a team effort. Do you think I know a thing about a combi oven? I do not.
Any other questions or comments, Ms. Manning? I just reiterate, I think they said it very well, and I think we all feel that way, all 7 of us on the board, so it is greatly appreciated.
Thank
to you and your team.
I'm humbled to be a part.
We'll now have the safety update by Mr. Kevin Queen, Director of Safety and Transportation.
I have to get my eyes on when I first came here. I didn't have to wear these. Good evening, Superintendent Cox and Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to bring to you tonight a safety and security update for the district. And you've heard me say many times before that, hang on here. What am I doing wrong, y'all? fast as I want it to be. Okay, there you go. Thank you. You've heard me say many times before that, and I truly believe this, that teachers teach best and students learn best when they feel safe. And we are very fortunate to have a board of trustees and a superintendent that understands that statement. And it's very evident that you as board members understand the need to support safety and security in our district and all the initiatives that we have so that we can continue to have our teachers teach best, our students learn, and that we all serve together in a safe school environment. So when I say it's not just a cliche, that teachers teach best and students learn best when they feel safe in school, I truly believe that, and I do thank you for all that you do to support us in those endeavors. So because of the hard work of many, as Ms. Spangler said, we're fortunate to have a number of proven safety initiatives, programs, and technologies available to us. While this is not an all-inclusive list that you see on your screen, it does capture a picture of our most recent safety initiatives. I'll just highlight a few. Our close work in relation with law enforcement and emergency management cannot go unmentioned. We believe that is something that holds us in line with the trends and the threats and the technologies that are out there. Safety screenings, camera upgrades, our gaggle system, school safety teams, and our monthly emergency radio tests are just a few that we can highlight and say that we're proud of. We're constantly promoting see something, say something, participating in announced and unannounced lockdown drills and other emergency drills, collaborating with the South Carolina Department of Ed and neighboring school districts, and of course, continuing to review our policies and procedures to ensure that we can offer the best safety practice and initiatives that are out there. You may recall that each year and since 2022, we've used our resource officers in coordination with our school-based administrators to complete a school vulnerability and threat assessment. We use what's called the PASS test. That is recommended by NASRO, which is the National Association of School Resource Officers. And the list here are the components of the PASS assessment that we use and analyze each year. We have completed the 2023-24 PASS assessment, and before I review those findings with you, I do want to revisit just a few of the opportunities that the PASS assessment has given us most recently. In 22-23, these were the areas of identified opportunities. To date, we've been able to implement weapon detection or safety screenings. We've been able to reduce the propping of doors and increase our exterior security. We've had intercom upgrades, camera installation and upgrades, the wearing and displaying of staff badges, implementing more staff and teacher trainings, the utilization of the COPS grant, as Ms. Spangler mentioned, that provides for our training of our school resource officers, and the involvement of outside agencies in accessing our schools for safety and recommendations. We've been able to partner locally with Clover and Fort Mill, particularly to do walkthroughs of each other's districts and give each other constructive feedback on what we see. Sometimes a fresh set of eyes is important. In 2023-2024, the PASS assessment results that, again, were provided from our SROs and administrators. Playground fencing was identified, parking tags for staff, exterior window and door impact resistance film, Ms. Spangler spoke on that, exterior lighting, student ID badges, card-based check-in for transportation, and additional parking lot cameras, particularly at York Comprehensive High School, were some of the findings that were pointed out. We will certainly continue to analyze these and communicate with federal and state officials, and also continue to utilize Ms. Spangler in our grant writings for funding to support some of these initiatives. Ms. Spangler did mention the South Carolina Department of Education Safety Grant, and I will give a shout out to her, as we already have here tonight, but she truly is an amazing grant writer. We requested a sum of money of $437,000, and out of that, the state awarded us $198,000. That is going to be used, as mentioned, for additional badge access door scanners and impact-resistant film, particularly in our entry areas and in commons areas such as cafeterias and large gathering places. So we are currently in the process of working with procurement and Mr. David and working to allocate those funds appropriately and get those rolling. And I have to mention our school resource officers, SROs as we refer to them. We're very fortunate in York School District 1 to have a dedicated and qualified school resource officer assigned to each of our schools. I will say that not every district in the state and certainly in the nation can say that, so that's something that we should be proud of. Of those 6 SROs, or of those SROs, 6 are state funded and 3 are district funded. Our SROs are very intentional about providing a safe and secure school environment each day. They practice strategies and tactics that they've received in trainings that we've been able to fund through the COPS grant over the last several years. They build in what I believe to be one of the most important things is positive student and employee and parent relationships within the building. That strongly promotes our See Something, Say Something campaign where people feel comfortable coming and reporting and talking about concerns. They direct traffic on a daily basis in several of our schools. They teach safety classes, and of course they provide that daily security that's truly invaluable. So if you see a resource officer or someone that is a partner with us, please take a moment to thank them because they truly are invaluable in keeping our schools safe every day. So again, wonderful opportunity to talk about the good things we have going on as far as safety and security, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Quinn? I just had one. I think we brought it up as a board before, just opening the doors, propping the doors, some things like that. So was that in the findings, or I want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah.
Or is that something that you're taking the next step?
So that was something from the previous 2022-23 pass assessment that was identified as an area of concern. And so we have been very intentional, SROs, custodians, administrators, myself, when we see what I call door chocks or anything that might be used to prop open a door, we remove it. And we talk to the administration about that because as we've talked about before, that is the point that we have to keep secure. We have to keep our doors locked, exterior doors locked, and have that single point entry so we're vetting who's coming in and out of our buildings. And it's a challenge because it's a convenient thing to do to prop open doors, but we've worked hard to break that. And we're not perfect. I still find them, and administrators still find them, but we work hard to talk about that and the importance of why we don't do that.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn.
Thank you all so much.
Up next, Ms. April Ulmer, Director of Elementary and Gifted Programs for our Gifted and Talented Program update.
Good evening, Chairman Childers, Superintendent Cox, and members of the board. I am delighted to be able to come here tonight to share with you another GT update. Let you know where we are currently today. Just a quick reminder, our goal in our GT program is to maximize the potential of gifted and talented students by providing programs and services that match the unique characteristics and needs of the students. And this is just another reminder, there are 2 ways to qualify as gifted and talented. The first is if the student ranks in the 96th national percentile or higher on their composite aptitude test, then they are an automatic qualifier. If they don't test in the 96th national percentile, then there's 3 dimensions that they could qualify under, like any combination of those 3. Dimension A and B, A and C, B and C. So just a reminder for that. And then I have been able to come to you every August and April to give you numbers, and so I wanted to kind of show you here. This graph shows that our numbers are increasing. So we are identifying more qualified, gifted and talented students academically. So currently, as of this month, we have a total of 689 students that we have identified, qualified for GT. We also have artistically talented students, and those students that are in grades 6 through 8 have the opportunity to audition for the STARTS summer program through Winthrop. This year, that will be June the 10th through the 28th. Those students will be participating in either art, voice, instrument, dance, or theater. And we have 55 slots, and we have all 55 slots signed up. We got kids going, and we also have a wait list in case somebody drops out because they're doing band or something else that happens over the summer they would rather do. But we have that for the artistic. Also, in our elementary schools, our merit students have had the opportunity to participate in some field trips this year. This one is all Camp Thunderbird. So they participated in a low ropes challenge, and I was told by the students that if you were on that challenge, it wasn't really low. So as that one little kid down there, it's pretty high. I'm not sure I would have done that one either. They really enjoyed the aquatic ecology station. This year they used sieves to determine the water quality by identifying the living organisms that they found. And then another station they found interesting was the Pioneer Life Station, where they participated in a game-like simulation of a 3-month pioneer journey. They could only select 15 items to take with them, and as they traveled through the woods, they came to stations where they either got points if they chose a correct item, or lost points, and then whichever team came out at the end with the most points was the winner. They also had the opportunity to crochet, as you can see those 2 little girls down there. That's a skill that will be lost if we do not continue to teach our children that. And then tomorrow, actually, so I don't have pictures for this yet, the students have the opportunity to experience the mobile learning lab that will have a combine simulator. And then that was provided through a grant from Duke Energy. And they also, the merit teachers, wrote a grant through the South Carolina Aquarium. And so all students get a virtual field trip tomorrow to the aquarium. So that will be happening tomorrow. And then that's my update. I just want to say thank you for your continued support of our Gifted and Talented program and of our students and teachers. Appreciate that. Any questions? I will try to answer.
Any questions or comments?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Hagner, Assistant Superintendent, Finance and Operations, for budget update.
Good evening, board members. Not a whole lot of new information to share with you since our last meeting. As you know, the House went through their version of the budget, and Senate Finance Committee has been debating the budget this week. Appropriation of bill will be printed next week, and then the last week of April, the full Senate will have budget deliberations. Since our last meeting, we did receive House projections, so when we meet in 2 weeks, that is the revenue portion that I'll share with you is based on House projections. Unfortunately, we will not have Senate projections at that time. We anticipate those to, we should get those hopefully around the 1st of May. Depends on if it goes to conference committee and kind of what happens after that. And there'll be a lot of budget information to cover in 2 weeks, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them this evening.
It's just a good time for the Senate to just decide to take a week off, right?
Sure.
Any questions from Ms. Hagner on the budget?
I'm sure you guys will have a lot in 2 weeks.
That's right, that's right.
And my next item is just policy updates. I ask for your approval for second and final reading.
So we do have for us an action item. Is there a motion for approval as recommended by administration for second and final reading for policies JICI, policies GB, GBA, policy JA, and Administrative Rule AR, JICDA-R? Do you have a motion?
So So move for the adoption, the second reading of the four stated policies.
Have a motion by Ms. Johnson for second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Anderson. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Now have Office of Human Resources, Ms. Jennifer Boland. Thank you, Ms. Hagan.
Good evening again. I have 5 action items for you this evening. First one being certified resignations for end of the 23-24 school year.
Do we have a motion for the certified resignations for end of 23-24 school year?
So moved for approval.
Have a motion by Ms. Faulkner for approval. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Howell. Any need for discussion? We need to go into executive session. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
All right. Our second action item is certified resignations and release of 23-24 contract.
Do I have a motion for certified resignation and release of 23-24 contracts?
So moved for approval.
Have a motion by Ms. Faulkner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Johnson. Any need for discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
All right. Our third action item is certified retirements for the end of the 23-24 school year.
Do I have a motion for certified retirements for the end of the 23-24 school year?
So move for adoption with congratulations.
Have a motion by Ms. Johnson with congratulations. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Anderson. Any need for discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
And our fourth action item is certified recommendations for the 24-25 school year.
We have certified recommendations for the 24-25 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved for approval.
Have a motion by Ms. Faulkner for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Ms. Johnson. Any need for discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried.
And our last action item is returning certified recommendations for the 24-25 school year.
Do I have a motion for returning certified recommendations for the 24-25 school year?
So moved.
Have a motion by Ms. Howell,
Second.
second by Ms. Johnson. Any need for discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boland. Now I'll turn it over to Officer Superintendent, Ms. Kelly Cox.
Thank you, Childers Board members. The first item that I have for you tonight is the City of York Gateway signage request. This is an item that you deferred from your March 12th meeting for additional information. After having met with city officials at your March work session, this item is back before you for your consideration.
So we do have before us the need for the City of York Gateway signage request as deferred. We did have the presentation, just for the record, at the work session, and the items that Ms. Cox stated. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved for approval.
Have a motion by Ms. Faulkner for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Anderson. Any need for discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
The next item that I have for you is an update about our agricultural arena. As you know, for purposes of public record, I have included as public information a timeline of efforts to date. We really got serious about this project back in December of '22 when we received our first allocation from the Department of Agriculture in the amount of $500,000. Following that, you passed a resolution in February of '23 showing your support for this project. In May of '23, you looked at the resolution, then you approved it in May of '23. In September of '23, we developed the Ag Steering Committee who've been guiding the work since then. December of '23, we received an additional $750,000. In January 24, we entered into an agreement with L&G for construction management. In February, to date, we had entered into an agreement with Jumper Carter Cease for architectural and engineering services. We developed a logo, which you have a picture included. Gentlemen, if you're able to show that logo, that would be great. If not, that's certainly okay. In addition, we held a Youth and Ag Night sponsored by 4-H that was at Clover School District earlier in March. That was when we revealed the logo and some very preliminary conceptual drawings for the Ag Arena. And the purpose of this update tonight is to bring everybody up to speed on where we are, and that tomorrow we will be holding a community input session out at Hickory Grove Sharon Elementary. Ms. Rebecca Dover has graciously agreed to host. We have sent postcards. I believe you each have one at your table as a sample to see, that went to every family in our district. We also sent letters with a flyer that was very similar to the postcard in nature to all of our churches, asking them to please share it in their bulletins, and trying to just get the word out so that folks can come and give us their opinion on this. As you all know, and for the benefit of those in the public, this is a joint venture with Clover School District and 4-H, and it would be fully fundraised. We're not looking to put district dollars into this. We're looking to raise this money. So it's essential that the community is behind it and wants to have this. So if you're interested in agriculture or would like to see this come to fruition, we'd love to have you join us tomorrow evening at Hickory Grove Sharon and have an opportunity to hear the full presentation. The kids do a powerful job articulating the need for an arena. As you can see, if we have Mr. FFA, we certainly need a place for him to demonstrate his skills. We've also spoken of Lisa and her grant writing skills. She is a member of the fundraising committee of the steering committee and is instrumental in the first initial launch of our fundraising efforts that are tentatively scheduled right now for May 17. You won't see them on your paper yet because they're still working through those details, but really appreciative of the work that Ms. Spangler is doing to help lift those fundraising efforts. And that's all I have for you on that item, unless you have questions about that.
Anybody have any questions? No? I was gonna say, the only thing I was gonna add is tomorrow day at the Capitol.
Yes, well, I had got over to you
Okay,
upcoming.
I didn't know.
Yeah. And then for my last item for you are your upcoming dates. You can see the list that we have here before you. We don't include Day in the Capitol, but that is tomorrow. For those of you that plan to attend, I believe Mr. Childers, you're attending and presenting, if I'm correct.
I am on a panel. I don't know if I wanna be on a panel, but I wanna be.
I know that several of you are planning to attend that, so just an opportunity to talk to our representatives and senators and make sure that we're looking out for the interest of school districts. I've also already mentioned the evening event tomorrow out at Hickory Grove Sharon, and then notably, I want to bring your attention to May 1st, where Amy and I will be hosting a budget input meeting, stakeholder input meeting. We're having that in the auditorium at the high school at 5:30 p.m. And then you can see the remainder of the dates laid out. Culminating on May 31st with graduation. It's hard to believe that it's that close. That's all I have for you this evening.
Do you have any other items for Ms. Cox? Does anybody have anything else for discussion purposes? Is there any need for executive session? No need for executive session? Do I have a motion to adjourn? I have a motion by Ms. Faulkner, second by Ms. Johnson. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.